All right, so the question you had was, 5x squared minus 5x minus 15 equals 0. Now, whenever you're solving these equations, the first thing I always look at is there a greatest common factor that I can either factor out or divide out? And you can see here that they do have a common factor of 5. So let's just divide every single term by 5. So this will become x squared, this will just become x, this will become 3, and this will still be 0 because 0 divided by 5 is still 0. Now they said in the instructions to complete the square. So in order to complete the square, I'm going to force this side of the equation to be a perfect square binomial. The only way I can do that is to get rid of that 3. So I'm going to add 3 to both sides of the equation. All right, so now the way that you get this to be a perfect square binomial is you have to take this middle term, which is a 1 or a negative 1. You divide it by 2, so that becomes negative a half, and then you're going to square it, so it'll become a positive 1/4. So I can add 1/4 here, but I can't just add it to one side of the equation. I have to add it to both sides of the equation, otherwise I've changed the equation. So I'm going to say 1/4 here. So this makes this a little tricky only because now you have to deal with fractions. But when you factor the left side of the equation, you're always going to put it in parentheses and square that. You're going to take the square root of the first term, so that'll just be x. If this is a subtraction sign, this will be a subtraction sign. And you're going to take the square root of the last term, which would be 1/2. So if you multiplied x minus 1/2 times x minus 1/2, you would get back to this x squared minus x plus 1/4, which that's what the definition of a perfect square binomial is. And so now over here on the right side, I'm going to change this 3 to have a common denominator of 4. So this will be 12/4 plus 1/4. All right, well, I'm going to add those together, so that's actually going to become 13/4. Now I'm going to square root both sides of this equation. So this side will simply become x minus 1/2. Because I square rooted the equation, this has to be plus or minus the square root of 13/4. So on the right-hand side of the equation, I can simplify that square root of 4, so I can really write this as x minus 1/2 equals plus or minus the square root of 13/2, which is really nice because I, in essence, rationalize the denominator at the same time. So now all I have to do is add 1/2 to both sides of the equation. So I have x equals 1/2 plus or minus the square root of 13/2. So I hope that helps you.